Happy Friday, coaster people. Welcome back to Roller Coasting with Raven. Today I'm going to be talking about my experience in Niagara Falls and Canada as a whole. If you haven't already, be sure to watch the other two videos in this series where I talk about my trip announcement and pack with me, as well as my trip report from Six Flags Darien Lake. Today, we're going to be talking about my experience on the Canada side of Niagara Falls, as well as Canada just as a whole. So if you watched my previous vlog, then you know that me and my boyfriend Andrew visited Six Flags Darien Lake, and following that short few hours visit, we decided it was time to head up to Canada. So from that park, it's only about an hour to the border. It was a pretty simple and easy process. We spent about 20-30 minutes in line, and then we ended up crossing over the bridge and going into the country with just a minimal little 45 seconds of questions that they ask everyone. You know, is your accommodation booked? How long are you staying? Do you have anything that you need to report that's in the vehicle? And that's about it, and then they just send you on your way. Following that, we ended up visiting our hotel first since it was just right across the border. It was fine, clean, a little pricey, but we are in the Niagara Falls area, of course. And then we decided to head over to the falls themselves. So we were staying about 25 minutes from the really downtownish area of the falls, and I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't do a lot of research before this, so when we showed up, I was so surprised to see that it was just as tourist trappy, like Branson, Pigeon Forge. It had that kind of vibes, except it was Niagara Falls, Canada. I found it kind of sad that they were taking away from the natural beauty of the place. We ended up walking right up to this one coaster. Now, if you watched my pack with me, you've probably heard me say,
I'm probably not going to be spending an exorbitant amount on a kiddie coaster that's on top of the Burger King. Gotta respect the grind for the people who will pay that much for a +1, but it's not really worth it to me.
I lied. I rode the coaster. Nestled in the middle of tourist trap hell is a Burger King coaster. There's a Burger King, there is a haunted house themed to Frankenstein's castle, and then on top of the two is the roller coaster. You meet up at the little ticket counter down below. You get to pick if you want to do the haunted house, if you want to do the coaster, or if you want to do both of them. And we decided, obviously, we're just going to do the coaster. We're not really there for the silly little haunted houses. We're not haunted house enthusiasts here. We walk up these really dark stairs. I have my phone light on because it's just very dimly lit and I cannot see crap to begin with. And finally, we open the last door possible and we are on the roof. So they take our seats and load us into the coaster. We're kind of near the front and we just wait for the coaster to fill up completely. They ramp this thing up and give us the all clear and jolts to life. It was jarring, it was rough, it was very aggressive, and honestly, I'm really glad that me and Andrew said, hey, these rows look pretty small, let's just ride separately, because if we hadn't, then one of us was definitely going to be crushing the other because you were just getting whipped to the side. The coaster made some very interesting noises. Now, I'm sure that it is maintained to a standard, but if you're valuing your comfort and your ability to keep 15 Canadian each, then I can't say that I would recommend this, and I'm definitely not going to do it again, but it was such a novelty to be up there on the coaster. Also, you honestly got some pretty good views of the falls. We're riding this really dinky kiddie coaster on top of the Burger King. We look over and we see like one of the most beautiful things the world has to offer. So after we spent some time at the lovely Frankencoaster, we did decide to head on down to the falls. Now, you can tell that there's about a block prior to hitting the falls. They were like, okay, enough is enough, tourist trap stops here. And I'm really glad that they did that because the park part of it was really pretty. And I really liked the gardens, what was across the street, even more breathtaking. Honestly, I could have just stood there all day taking in the sights and the sounds of the falls. While we were at Niagara Falls, I ended up getting some magnets for my family. So If you're watching this and you haven't received said gifts yet, then I'm sorry that you're getting spoilers, and you'll probably see them in the next week or two. So anyway, for my mammal, I got this cute little Niagara Falls magnet. It's kind of like you turn it and the sun catches it different ways. I thought it was really cute. And then for my dad, I got this nice little painted one that just has a picture of the falls on it. And lastly, my mom is a huge fan of bears of all kinds, so I got her this cute little Canada magnet that has a bear on it with some forest and mountain in the background. So that was just a little bit of my souvenirs that we had while we were there. From there, we ended up going to an outlet mall in the area, and it was your standard fare of what you'd expect in pretty much any other outlet mall. On our way back, we ended up getting Canadian Taco Bell, which I was really interested in. I checked out the menu online, and it looked really similar to what you can get here in the States. But when I took my first bite of my black bean crunch wrap, I was like, man, this tastes like real lettuce. I mean, it tasted really fresh for fast food. I'm not going to say it tasted like the freshest thing I've ever eaten, but for fast food standards, I was honestly really impressed. It also had paper cups and paper straws, which I wasn't really thinking about at all whenever we were ordering, and I pulled out the paper straw and I was like, oh my god. I know a lot of people have those same negative feelings towards paper straws. Comment down below if you have some strong opinions on paper straws. I want to hear them. But anyway, Canada, I think, has better paper straws because I didn't have a viscerally angry reaction when I got my Mountain Dew Baja Blast and stuck my little straw in it and took a sip. I was like, man, this straw does not feel like it's going to instantly disintegrate on me before I am done with this drink. And a couple of other observations I noticed as we spent that first day in Canada. There aren't a ton of huge billboards all over what their version of the interstate is. Most of what's on the road is just your general road signs and traffic warnings. I also found really the whole country that we visited to be a really clean place. You didn't see a whole lot of litter anywhere, and you could tell that people took pride in preserving nature there. And I really liked that sentiment. So after we had our Taco Bell, we ended up just hanging out in the room, watching a little bit of baseball, and then going to bed early so that we could get ready for the next day that was coming, which was our trip to Toronto and Canada's Wonderland. So a little bit of a short vlog today, but I really hope that you enjoyed it, and be sure to check out next Friday's vlog where I talk about our experience spending 2 days at Canada's Wonderland and the rest of our adventures and what we got up to in Canada. If you like this video, make sure that you like it. Literally, your support means the absolute world to me, and I am so appreciative of everyone who is coming back every week to watch some roller coasting with Raven. If you haven't already, be sure to click that subscribe button and hit the bell icon as well so that you'll be notified for every single drop. Happy Friday, coaster people. Can't wait to see you next Friday as we take on Canada's Wonderland. See ya!